of 2026. So good to have you with us. We are connecting via Riverside, and we'll give some folks a minute or two to get here, and we'll be right with you. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Welcome to our Friday Movie News Live, the first one of the year.
Woo!
If you joined us for our Marty Supreme spoiler chat this past week, great. Welcome back. We're also going to go live on Oscar nomination morning. That is Thursday, January 22nd at 7 a.m. Pacific, because Alonzo's got places to be. He's got to catch a plane.
And look, if they're going to announce them at 5:30, we might as well be, like hot off the griddle with that stuff.
5:37 a.m. I think is the time. It's very, very specific. So we're thrilled to have you all here with us. There's so much going on because it is the beginning of the year, and this weekend is Golden Globes, and we've got DGA and PGA nominations, and BAFTA lists just came out today. So thanks for all of you for being here. Thank you, Leo, for being here early. We also cannot believe the Golden Globes are this week. We forgot.
And you'd think we'd remember because Lafka's dinner is Saturday, and we are very often the night before the Globes just to catch people while they're in town.
Yes, and Nikki Glaser has been all over the place working through material. She has made multiple stops at Largo to work through Golden Globe material. So that is that. Hello, Gorilla Film got 10 out of 10 on my PGA predictions and 20 out of 23 on my Critics' Choice winner predictions. Feeling good about things. Yeah, I do feel like we're narrowing things down. The same names keep coming up,
Yeah.
and it does indeed increasingly look like we have this two-film battle, if you will, between
Yeah.
one battle after another and Sinners, both Warner Brothers movies.
Right. Yeah. The front runners are definitely firming up at this point, and it's like, we're going to have to talk about Hamnet and Frankenstein for a little while longer, I guess.
It's amazing to me the traction that Frankenstein has gotten in the past couple of weeks. Like Guillermo del Toro, and we'll get into this when we talk about Directors Guild nominations. Like Guillermo del Toro is in the mix for that.
Yeah.
And Frankenstein is in the mix for a lot of things in ways that are surprising to me because I think you and I admired it a lot technically, but didn't love it.
Yeah, I think it speaks to, look, I think part of it is especially with the directors, is the narrative of like, yes, this is his passion project. He's been wanting to make it for, his entire career, yada da. And it probably also speaks to sort of Netflix's growing power as an awards season player. They
Yeah.
went from being kind of like almost treated like a pariah at the Oscars, in their early years, so now being very much in the mix. So they have yet to score a best picture, right? That's the deal with them? They haven't done that
Um,
yet? Like
that they've
Apple
not
has
well,
one for Coda, but
right. I mean, like The Irishman was in the mix, Roma was in the mix,
yeah, no, they've
Power
come
of the
close a
Dog was in the
lot.
mix.
Yeah, they've come close a lot, and they've won some other major awards. Power of the Dog got, best director and best actor and stuff, but yeah, they haven't, gotten the brassest of rings. But anyway, I think with they're really throwing their weight behind Frankenstein, and so far it seems to be paying off.
Yes, Guillermo's lifelong passion project. Red Carpet Talk says Golden Globes are but Nikki is a good host, and more important, the heated rivalry guys are presenting.
Woohoo!
Connor did good with SAG noms announcement. Yeah, we just on our Patreon before we came here recapped that all 6 episodes of Heated Rivalry, which I was worried we were maybe a little bit late on, but apparently not because the guys are everywhere.
It's still very much in the zeitgeist. Apparently, that show is not eligible for Emmys because it's a completely foreign production,
Oh, Canada,
or
our neighbor to the
non-United
north.
States rather. So yeah, bummer.
Yes. Katie, I want to say hi to you, Katie. Our good friend Katie Lee says, hello, everybody from South Minneapolis. Please keep us in
Minneapolis.
your thoughts. Um, it's
Yes.
been a really rough week for you guys. I'm so sorry. And so at times like this where everything feels really uncertain, I'm more thankful than ever that we're able to come together here and talk about things that we care about. It's a nice community here. But Katie, I'm seeing that like schools are closing in
Yeah.
Minneapolis because they don't want to put families in danger. John Mulaney canceled his performance. I think it was last night. He was going to do his stand up there and didn't want people to have to go across town and be in
Right.
danger.
No, yeah, the streets are not safe. So yeah, wishing you and all of your neighbors, to get through all this current mess.
Yeah, it's awful. Christine, thanks so much to you. Our friend Christine in Canada says Canadian hockey smut. What wrong lesson will industry learn from heated rivalry success? Can obsessed fans appreciate Williams and Story's acting craft enough to enjoy supporting a varied career? Yeah, they're everywhere doing very charming interviews these days. And we were just talking about how the NHL is trying to like jump on the success of it without actually having to do Pride nights.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a little get your house in order, NHL, before you get to glom onto this phenom.
Yeah, I'm glad we watched it. See, we talked about that there, and both those guys are crazy talented. And the fact that Connor Story is not Russian at
Nope.
all, but from Texas was surprising to me.
Yeah.
David, thanks so much to you.
Thank
I
you.
don't think it's a race at all. One battle after another broke the record for the most SAG nominations ever with 7, and most BAFTA long list mentions ever with 16. Is clearly winning Best Picture. I mean, yeah, as Alonzo mentioned, our LA Film Critics Dinner is tomorrow night, where One Battle After Another won Best Picture, and Paul Thomas Anderson won Best Director. So,
I'm just going to say this. Like, the one thing that keeps all of this nonsense interesting in its own way is that I don't think there's ever a fully done deal with this stuff. In fact, let me see how vaguely I can put this. Someone I know who is affiliated with One Battle After Another told someone else who I know in the industry that her, at least when it first came out and first started getting shown to Academy members, that Academy members didn't care for it. Like, she said, this is not a beloved film.
oh,
Critics groups love it, obviously, and the guilds are into it. And again, the Academy membership now is a very diverse and far-ranging thing. So who knows? Yeah, it may well be that it is a fait accompli, and we're just going through the motions at this point. But I think, uh, every so often some fucking green book or something will sort of sneak out and become a thing. The smart money was probably on Brokeback Mountain, right? To win Best Picture. So,
yep.
who knows? Who knows what can happen?
That Oscar night, I'm sure I've told the story 1,000 times. I was still with the Associated Press, and you do a whole bunch of boilerplate copy, right? You write a bunch of stuff ahead of time, and then you just top it with what happened. And I had a
Mhm.
1,000-word story on why Brokeback Mountain won Best Picture, and then they said the word crash. So there you go. I think everyone thought that. I want to get to something that Red Carpet Talk is saying here. I'm a queer former ice hockey player, so I lived the toxic environment of hockey culture that heated rivalry captures so well. That's so interesting.
Huh. I read an article, I think it was like on Outsports or something, that said that no former pro hockey player has ever come out, let alone one who is still in the middle of their career. That in all the other big sports, baseball, football, basketball, that people either, like, there was a handful, like one or two people who might have come out while they were still active, and then a few more who came out in retirement, but that NHL, the score was 0. So that's what I read. I don't know if that's the case.
Yes, but when it does happen, it's going to be a joyous occasion on the ice where you point to your
That's right.
secret lover in the stands and he comes down and you kiss on the
And
ice.
the camera swirls around. Yes, for sure.
And the music swells. We got a Christmas question for you, Alonzo.
Yes.
Over the holidays, I watched a Christmas movie called House Without a Christmas Tree. This is from Justice Formal.
Hmm.
I can't read that. I'm sorry. Justice Formalist Family. Have you seen this or talked about it?
I have seen it. It was made for TV. It stars Jason Robards and Mildred Natwick and Lisa. I'm blanking on the young girl's name, but I think she's in Little Darlings, actually. And they did several different holidays. It's set during the Depression. It's about a young girl who's living with her widowed father. Yeah, House of the Christmas Tree is quite lovely. I have not seen. There's like a Thanksgiving one and an Easter one, and they've all got DVD issues in the last few years, which is unusual because it was shot on videotape, which a lot of lower budget productions did in the 70s, and then that kind of looks like crap now. So a lot of that stuff didn't get video releases for a long time, but now you're starting to see companies like Kino Lorber putting out like these Dan Curtis horror things that were shot on videotape and whatnot. And so, yeah, you can get House Without a Christmas Tree. It's nice. It's good.
Okay. Rob Crosby's got a question saying the one award I'm rooting for this season is Adam Sandler for Jay Kelly. Does he have a chance? I don't know because figure two of those three spots will be not Guillermo, Benicio del Toro
So, the other one,
and
Sean
Sean
Penn,
Penn, right? And I can imagine maybe Miles Caton gets in there for Sinners,
Miles Caton, and or Delroy Lindo,
right? Um, who else?
Stellan Skarsgård.
Stella Skarsgård is a supporting performer. That's right, because we have him in our LAFCA wins. Yes.
Yeah. And you know, as we now know, and because of the Golden Globes, and I think and SAG, right? Like Paul Mescal is supporting for Hamnet, right?
Oh, yes, that's true. They do have Paul Mescal supporting.
Yeah.
So I don't think Adam Sandler gets in there, but actually if I were to pick Jay Kelly performance to get a nomination, I wish Billy Crudup were getting more love
Mm.
for that one scene that changes the whole movie.
Yeah, it's a short one. Like they would have they would have to go full Beatrice Straight on that one, but it would be worth it, you know. And Laura Dern is terrific as well, of
She
course.
is. She is. Judi Dench as well, right? Didn't Judi Dench have like 7 minutes of screen time
Yes, I
in
think
Shakespeare in Love?
she and Beatrice Straight are like the two real short ones that won. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, lots of talk about thanking Sal Saperstein for the studio. Yeah, the Golden Globes do encompass television. The studio is very much a front runner there. Yeah. So there's so much going on. Oh, happy birthday to Eli says,
Oh, happy birthday.
OMG, a breakfast all day live chat for my birthday. Wishing y'all the best and likewise.
And to you.
So yeah, so good to have you here with us. Yeah, so much award stuff. Yeah, keep letting us know in the comments what you'd like to see happen. Also, yes, the actor award nominations, don't call them SAG award nominations. The actor awards. And these are weird because yeah, that's one of the places where Frankenstein got a bunch of love. They got in that best ensemble category and like sentimental value did not.
Right. And I'm wondering with the guilds, I always wonder about like signatories and qualifications. I know like there have been weird years where like the Writers Guild didn't nominate something that was super prominent because it didn't fit into their guidelines of whatever, like Toy Story 2 or 3. I remember like not getting
Oh.
it was when it was getting other nods that year. Yeah, it's I don't know what that's about. I don't know if it's because like there weren't enough SAG members in Sentimental Value besides Elle Fanning and you know Corey Michael Smith or how that goes. But yeah, I don't know. I have I mentioned that I don't care about any of this?
And yet, I keep making you talk about it.
You do, the world does. It's not, believe me, it's a topic we have to keep circling back to. So I understand.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's surprising. Yeah, so like for the SAG Award nominations, like Odessa Zion got in, but not Gwyneth Paltrow.
Right.
Wagner Moura didn't get in. There's a whole bunch of like international films.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking to your point, like international films that are in the conversation, The Secret Agent very much is, Wagner Moura very much is, and that is not. These are people who got nominated. It's kind of weird.
Right. But on the other hand, you've got like the Globes nominating Lee Byung Kyung for No
No
Other
other
Choice.
choice. Yeah. Before we move on from the Golden Globes, because that is the most imminent thing, let me just go over who is nominated in those main categories. And again, the Golden Globes, like what they think is a comedy is bizarre to me. So their drama nominations, best feature drama, are Frankenstein, Hamnet, It Was Just an Accident, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. And so you do have a lot of the international films in that best picture category. And then
Drama
best
and not musical for Sinners. I just now noticed that because that you could have made a case for that being a musical.
music is crucial to that, right? But then the things I think are comedies maybe are kinda Blue Moon, Begonia, Marty Supreme, No Other Choice, Nouvelle Vague, and One Battle After Another. So you got your 2 Richard Linklater movies in
Mhm.
there. That's kind of nice. I do like that. Again, like some funny things happen in Marty Supreme. Marty Supreme is not a comedy. Some funny things happen in one battle after another. One battle after another is not a comedy. Like it's more of a drama than it is a comedy. It's just weird to me.
Yeah, like, I mean, they can't all be Hamnet, you know, like, there are some movies that have some laughs, but that doesn't necessarily push them into the other category.
Yeah. Anyway, we will watch. And then for your Directors Guild nominations, you have Paul Thomas Anderson, Ryan Coogler, Guillermo del Toro, Josh Safdie, Chloe Zhao. And then, as we mentioned earlier, the BAFTA long lists are out. One Battle After Another has the most mentions with 16, followed by Hamnet and Sinners with 14 each. Seth Roble says, "Where's Kiss of the Spider Woman?"
Right? Yeah, I know. Justice for Tonatiuh.
He was so
That was
good.
the performance of the year for my money. Did you see the DGA? They do a first time award as well. They
Yes.
do a best first film, and they nominated Sorry Baby and Lurker, along with The Plague, which I haven't seen yet, Pilion, which barely got screened during its
Yeah.
awards run, so I'm waiting to see that soon. It opens in February, and then what's the other one?
I don't know.
Oh, The President's Cake from
Which I've not
Iraq,
seen.
which
Yeah.
again, like that movie somehow did qualify for a DGA award. I don't know who the director is or if they're affiliated. I don't really get how these rules work.
It's confusing. Yeah. I can imagine that probably Ava Victor wins that, and deservedly so. Happy to see them in there.
Probably.
And we love Lurker, Lurker was
Yeah.
great.
And I hear great
So
things about Pilion. I can't wait to see him.
right. And I've wanted to get to The Plague too. I hear that's really good.
Yeah.
We liked The Novice. So movies about like the psychological torture of being an elite athlete.
In swimming pools.
Our good friend Brent Luthold, follow his work at Awake in the Dark. He says, "The Plague is great. Glad people are getting to see it now." And our friend Matthew Bird says, "The best kiss of the Spider Woman in my mind was William Hurt's."
I think they both bring something different to the table.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on right now. We will get to all of it. We will follow it all season long. And again, we're going to do an Oscar nomination live stream the morning of the nominations. That is Thursday, January 22nd. So come on back here at 7 a.m. Pacific, mark your calendar, roll out of bed, get your coffee. Let's wake up and talk Oscars. Did you guys watch the Stranger Things finale? And were you caught up in this insanely stupid theory that there was some secret 9th episode coming out? Did not happen. The Conformity Gate. Even my kid, I texted Nick. He's 16 and a huge Stranger Things fan. I texted him the link to the thing. He's like, it's so stupid. I'm like, yes, it is.
Yeah, online fandoms, need another hobby. There was this whole thing where people were convinced that the finale of Stranger Things was peppered with clues that it wasn't all really over. That the way that people were sitting at the graduation was the same way that Henry is sitting in the landscape of his mind, and that everybody was still somehow possessed by Vecna, and that we were going to get this secret additional episode that was going to drop. There were like clues in the D&D scene, and yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah. And then the Duffers even had to go on social media and write in all caps, like, all Stranger Things episodes are now airing on Netflix. Yeah. And there was so much, pomp and splendor and fanfare about the finale and the theatrical
Yeah, they're
run
not
it
gonna.
had.
Yeah, after putting the finale in theaters, they were gonna be like, oh, and P.S.
Yeah, as our friend Christine in Canada says, the finale had more endings than Return of the King. Yeah, it
Yeah.
just kept going and going and going. But that's the thing that kept people excited this past week. So that did not happen. The Pitt came back last night for season 2, and then they just announced that season 3 is coming. People like the Pitt, Alonzo.
They do. I hear good things. I just, it's not one I've gotten to. The Lowdown just got picked up for a second season. I hear that's really good. The Ethan Hawke show from
Oh.
one of the creators of Reservation Dogs on FX, where he plays kind of a like hippie anarchist bookstore owner who becomes a investigative journalist and tries to figure out who's behind some crime and gets beaten up a lot. I'm hearing it's really good, and that just got a season 2, so I got to check it out.
Yeah, I know that you are not a big fan of medical shows in general.
It's
So you
not
don't watch
my
the Pit.
it's not my lane, but I mean, yeah, I hear great things about the Pit. Maybe at some point I'll get to it.
Yes. Do you guys watch the Pit? Let us know. And thank you to our good friend Teddy. Teddy says, does anyone know what happened to Mike Feist, the not Josh O'Connor guy from Challengers? I thought he was going to have a bigger career of the two. Yeah, he's got all that musical theater background too. He was so great in West Side Story. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, look, everybody's working less than Josh O'Connor is. So like I think that's an unfair comparison to make. But I'm pulling up his
Yeah, he's young.
IMDb to see what's coming up.
He's young. There's lots of time.
Oh,
Thank you, David.
he's he plays Charles Trask in an upcoming miniseries of East of Eden.
Oh, okay. Yes, and Moondoggy just said the exact same thing with
Ah,
Florence Pugh.
yep.
Florence
Florence
Pugh?
Pugh?
East of Eden
Yes,
with Florence Pugh. We might have to watch that.
for sure.
That's interesting. I wonder what that will be. Thanks so much again to you, David. David says, I thought this final season of Stranger Things was a step down from the previous ones. The finale did make me tear up, but when the mystery is gone, you're left with exposition like the Matrix sequels. They really did spread out what was happening in that last season of Stranger Things.
Yeah, I think it was a tricky thing where they had like all these characters they had to follow. They had the fact that everybody was aging and they had to do it promptly.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think it was they built a loop that was going to be hard to close, if you will. But
Mhm.
it's I don't hate the finale. I know a lot of people are just like really mad about it. It just was like not one of the great TV finales.
But that thing that you told me when we recapped it was so disheartening that there is this mandate at Netflix to
Oh
like
yeah.
stop and recap all the time because people are folding their laundry and can't pay attention.
Yeah, no, this is apparently a thing now where and people it's been documented online that yeah, it's kind of a notes that screenwriters will get in there for film and TV if it's for Netflix is that they have to periodically have these moments where people recap what's going on or like what sum up a conversation that just happened so that people who are half paying attention can still know can still follow the plot.
That bums me out. It's cynical. Thank you, Angel. Gracias, nuestro amigo Angel. Angel says, who's your pick for James Bond? It's got to be Aaron Taylor Johnson, right? Not necessarily.
Mm,
That's not who I would pick.
yeah, me neither. I don't know. I mean, do we need a James Bond? Do we
Maybe
have
it's
to
Mike
do?
Feist.
Maybe there we go. Sure. Or Josh O'Connor can fit it in between his 8 other, projects he's got going on.
He's busy. I liked that theory that it should be Idris Elba, but maybe he's too old at this
He's
point.
aged out of it at this point, but like somebody like that would be cool. How about is it Carter Williams from Heated Rivalry? How about him? I don't know.
Hudson Williams.
Hudson
Oh, that's
Williams.
good.
He looks good in a tux.
Yes. Yeah. Rumors about Callum Turner, says Angel. Rumors about Jack Loudon.
Mm,
I don't know. Anyway, I had not thought about that. That's an interesting question.
yeah.
We know there's going to be a sequel to The Housemaid. Did you guys see The
Yes.
Housemaid? The delicious twisty trash that is The Housemaid. There's going to be because there's a bunch of books.
Right.
It was based in a book. There's a bunch of books. They're going to start production on the second one later this year. There's also a new Jackass movie that Johnny Knoxville announced that's coming June
Yes.
26th. You're saying yes. Are you a big Jackass fan?
Yes. Have we not talked about this ever? I love the Jackass franchise.
I am unaware that you have that much enthusiasm about it.
Oh yeah. The year the first one came out, Manola Dargis and I were part of a wave of trying to get that movie Best Documentary. I wore a Jackass, like the movie t-shirt to the voting meeting that year.
Tell me why you love Jackass so much.
Well, John Waters describes it as sexual anarchy, which I appreciate. Um, it is this notion of like, these guys are just trying to make each other laugh, whatever it takes. And there is an element of Grand Guignol to it. There is an element of just sort of like, I would call healthy male bonding. Like there's been sort of an inherent queerness to their uh, their capacity to be naked around one another, that they never have to like no homo, which I think
Mm.
is very cool. And they're just I'm shocked at the lengths to which they will go to get the laugh from each other, from the audience. Have I had a dry heave or two during one of those movies? Yes. But you know what? That's cinema.
Here's why this revelation surprises me so much about you, because I have sat next to you for so many horror movies where, like, or if someone's bone breaks,
Yeah.
especially if there's like a sound design element to that, I know that you squirm and put your fingers over your eyes. So the fact that you're watching like people get their nipples bitten by baby alligators or paper cuts or whatever the crazy pain is that they're inflicting upon
Yeah.
themselves, that brings you joy is very surprising to me.
Back when I wrote 101 must-see movies for gay men, I included the first Jackass movie.
Wow. Anyway, everyone in the comments is also very shocked at your love of Jackass. You
I
have many
contain multitudes,
layers.
bitches.
You really do. So that is coming out. Also coming out, it's out now actually, the concert film Depeche Mode M. So if you missed it during its brief little IMAX run in theaters, that is out there now. This is the thing that I went to and did a quick little out of the theater reaction about. It's a concert they did in Mexico City, and it ties in like
Mm.
cultural, spiritual connections to death within Mexican culture. And so that is out. So if you are a fan of Depeche Mode, that is there. There's
Speaking of
also going to
concert films,
yeah.
what is the 21 Pilots?
21 Pilots is a band that if you have a 16-year-old, they probably like it. I
Okay,
took my son to see 21 Pilots at Into a Dome, which we could turn back time to the good old days. You don't know this?
I got nothing, sorry.
Okay. Anyway, like kind of indie alternative, kind of rock pop band. They are All My Friends Are Heathens, Take It Slow, which was in one of the Suicide Squad movies. No?
I probably heard it there and it slid right out of my brain,
Oh
so
my
sorry.
gosh. Okay, anyway, 21 Pilots also has an IMAX movie that is coming out. Also a Mexico City concert, different soccer stadium, but
Mm,
that's going to be out in theaters on February 22nd for a limited run. They are very fun in concert. It was cool to go to the Intuit Dome. This is where the Clippers play, where they do facial recognition, and that is your ticket. That's what gets you in.
I don't like that.
Insidious. Creepy and
Don't like it.
insidious, but it makes it easier to buy. So when I took Nick to this concert, like you've got to upload your face, and they have like at the concessions, it's not like a human being behind a counter that you ask for a soda. It's like a little convenience store, and you scan your face, and then you walk in and you take what you want from the shelves, and maybe you get like a pretzel and a bottle of water, and then you walk out, and then you see on your app that that was $41.
Right, yeah, I've been to the airport where they have the little if you wanna get your magazine, your water, you just yeah. I don't like any of this. I don't like any of this. I find that all very disturbing.
Yeah. I was reluctant to do it as well. Anyway,
Mm,
but 21 Pilots. There is your answer.
thank you.
Yes, Brent, her name is Blurry Face. See, Brent knows 21 Pilots. Uh other stuff to know about. Let's talk about this Mickey Rourke story. Do you know about
Yeah.
this? This is a
Uh,
weird story.
I know the outline of it, which was like there was a GoFundMe to help him keep his house, and then he came out and said, "No, I didn't put it there. Don't give that money." What's his deal?
So apparently he owed nearly $60,000 in back rent, and his
Okay.
management set up a GoFundMe for him to help him out. And he
Uh-huh.
didn't know this, and he didn't ask for it, and he was
Ah.
very embarrassed by it.
Mhm.
He doesn't want to ask for money. And so they raised like $100,000 for him through this, and he doesn't want it. He's rejecting it.
Hmm.
The house is kind of in between Beverly Center and the Grove.
Okay.
So if you could picture that.
So is he still living there? Is he gonna get kicked out? Like, what's the deal?
I think he is still living there, but
Okay.
he doesn't wanna, like, ask for money from people, you know, for rent, and so
Sure, no, I
that
respect that. I hope
yeah.
he finds some other way to pay it.
Yeah, like, he says, like, "I am working, I don't need this money, this is very embarrassing,"
Mm.
like but he said this in a much more, like, profane kind of
Well,
way. Thank you again, David. David says the housemaid was fine. But speaking of Amanda Seyfried, are you guys going to review The Testament of Anne Lee when it releases wide next week? Yes.
yes.
We were just talking about that before we began here. So that is definitely happening. Other things. Spencer Pratt is running for mayor of Los Angeles
Why? Why?
because because he has a book to sell. I don't
Ah,
think he actually wants to be mayor of Los
I was gonna
Angeles.
say there's some publicity angle here. Okay, what's the book?
Yeah, it is about his rise to reality star villainy and then subsequent humanizing. So Spencer Pratt grew up in the Palisades, and the house that he and Heidi Montag lived in with their kids burned down a year ago during the fires. And
Mhm.
the house that his parents lived in also burned down. And he's been a very vocal critic, as a lot of people have been, and justifiably so, of the way that city officials have handled the response to this. Karen Bass, who was our current mayor, who's running for reelection, notably was in Ghana when the fires broke out. And then when she
Mm.
finally came back and was confronted at the airport about her handling of this, like she was catatonic. She just stood there and like turned away from the camera and was mute. Like she couldn't say a word. It was not a great moment of leadership. And so a lot of people are trying to step into that void, and he is one of them. But being mayor of LA is really hard.
Yes.
And so
Well,
he
one of the benefits of living in West Hollywood is I don't have to vote for the mayor of LA.
that's true. You get your own mayor. Yeah, he has a book to sell. And
Mm.
actually, the mayor of Los Angeles is not even, as my husband has pointed out, who covers politics in this city, like, it's not even really the powerful position to be in. Like, the LA County Board of Supervisors is a
Ah,
much more powerful political body
that's where the action is.
than the mayorship.
Mm.
But that is a thing that's happening. I also want to get into this thing with Ashley Tisdale. Are you following
I
this?
don't know anything about this.
Do you know who
Let's
Ashley
have it.
Tisdale is?
I do.
Okay, so Ashley Tisdale was on, like, she longtime Disney star, was in the High School Musical
Yeah.
movie. She's
She
the
was
voice of
Sharpay.
she's Sharpay. She's also the voice of Phineas's sister Candace
Mm.
on Phineas and Ferb. And she wrote this essay for The Cut under her married name, Ashley French. And it kept popping up on my feed. I'm like, why do I keep getting this story? It's about how she broke up with her toxic mom friend group.
Oh.
And I kept getting this because I'm a middle-aged lady. I don't have standards when it comes to the kind of stuff I like to read. So I kept seeing it and didn't realize, oh, it's Ashley Tisdale French. And the people she's talking about in this article are famous moms like
Oh.
Hilary Duff and Manny Moore and Megan Trainor.
First of all, that they had a mom group, I find kind of hilarious. But why were they toxic, per Ashley Tisdale French?
Right. So she's saying that like they would all get together for dinner and not invite her, or there would be like a side thing that they cut her out of, or she would get invited to a dinner party and she'd be
There
sitting
was another
way
group chat.
there's like a dinner party and she's sitting like way down at one end of the table and they're
Oh,
all on this
God.
side. And then they'd say, like, oh, we thought you were invited too. We wondered where you were. And increasingly she felt like she was being cut out of this thing. And she wondered, like, am I being paranoid? And it speaks to all kinds of, teenage girl paranoia about like not being cool enough.
Oh,
And she just
man.
found like she thought she found her people because they were all around the same age and they were all like creative and also trying to build brands and also being moms. And anyway, that's what this is about.
This falls under the category of what the Spanish would call elocuenta,
What does
which
that
is,
mean?
it means, and she's talking about it. Like, it's one thing to be,
Uh-huh.
oh no, I'm not cool enough for my celebrity mom group. They're like, icing me out and doing things behind my back. It's like, that sucks. I'm sorry that happened to you, Ashley Tisdale. But to then put them on blast in writing, it's like, and that's going to solve what exactly? Because they're not going to be thrilled about it or make it be any more welcoming to you. Now you kind of look like the loser here that they didn't want to hang out with. So what's the end game?
Yeah, she didn't name names, but,
Mm.
enterprising celebrity sleuths can look at Instagram and see, "Oh, they're all in matching hoodies for a mom's weekend," or
Bingo.
now so and so doesn't follow so and so back anymore.
Oh
And then
no.
and then the women themselves spoke out and then their husbands did. So like Hillary Duff's husband wrote something snarky about this. It's and part of me thinks it's all a stunt cuz like they're pitching a reality show.
Oh man.
This is my
Uh,
theory.
to quote the brilliant Janice Dickinson on the early seasons of America's Next Top Model, when the girls would have some complaint in the judging room about, so and so's hogging the bathroom, or whatever, or just having these little snippy disagreements about stuff, she would just go, boarding school, boarding school, keep it in the
Our
dorm. I don't want to hear about it.
yeah, our friend Angel says, "Great, Alonzo. My mother says that a lot. Y lo cuenta."
Yeah,
That's really
it's a
funny.
very useful phrase.
Yeah. So, Leo asks, "Have people ever treated you like this, Christy?" I've never been in a mom group. I've never been in a clique like this. I throughout my life, I've had a lot of friends in various places, but like even in high school, I didn't have that clique of like six girls and we always do everything together. I
Right.
never had that mom group of like, oh, all the preschool moms get together all the time for everything. And even when I was in a sorority, like I had friends in all different parts of the sorority. I've never been in a clique. I never wanted to be in a clique. I feel very fortunate to have a lot of really, really great women friends and a lot of really great mom friends that I've had for decades. But I've never had a clique. So I never wanted I don't know, the insularity of that.
Right.
So I'm sorry I'm
Well,
coughing. I feel a little bit of a
Ashley
cough.
did.
Yeah. And does not anymore. Because as you say, she put them all on blast. So it's all kind of funny.
Mm.
You think you've reached a level of like success and celebrity and like you're doing well and you've got kids and a spouse and you're happy, but no, it's
There's always
yeah.
one
The
more
theory
hill
I
to
have,
climb.
yeah, we are all still inside, we are all still the insecure 12-year-old that we always were. Like that's still
Yeah.
in there. Anyway, Red Carpet Talk says I wasn't expecting a Phineas and Ferb name drop on this channel.
Sharpay would never, is what I'm saying. So maybe take a
Yeah.
page from, her strength.
Yeah, I love Phineas and Ferb. Let's finish up if we can with Bela Tarr.
Yes. R.I.P. Bela Tarr, who made some of the longest, slowest, most impenetrable movies I've ever seen, but loved. Yeah, he was 70, which is I have reached the age where an obit at 70 feels like, oh, that's young. That's not
Mhm.
so old.
Yeah.
But he you know, there's a what's the Paul Schrader book? Is it Existential Cinema? What does he call it? But where he talks about sort of, legendarily sort of slow cinema pioneers like Ozu and Robert Bresson, and Tar is very much in that category. Like he's not in a rush to get you out of a shot or at the end of a road or in anything. And his films are the ones I've seen are just gorgeous and haunting, like Satan Tango. Yeah, I had to watch it in chunks because that thing is like 5.5 hours long, but it's gorgeous. He had a film called Damnation. This is I was trying. I asked Dave the other day, which is the Bela Tarr movie where it's the bar, but it's raining and the bar is starting to flood. And he goes, well, it could have been Damnation, but I mean, it's raining in Satantango, and there's a bar in that movie. Like, who knows? I haven't seen the Touring Horse, but yeah, I think he's really great. Gus Van Sant is a big fan. I've heard that Jerry is always often described as a sort of
Oh,
his take on a Bela Tarr type movie.
that makes
So
sense.
yeah, he's cool. Give him a shot.
Yes, Real Dreamer asked the question that I was going to ask you next. So thank you for asking this. Saying, I've never seen a Bela Tarr film. Any recs for where to start, or can I just jump in anywhere?
Well, I saw like they did a full retrospective years ago at the old Cine Family here,
Mm,
and I saw his first film, which is it has a lot of his sort of ideas, but the methodology is different. It moves a lot faster. Family Nest. So that one's is a little less like of a you're not going to deal with the pauses and the kind of, the slowness that pops up later. But Damnation comes in at 2 hours, so I'd say
Okay.
go start with that one. Oh yeah, sorry, Sat and Tango 7 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh,
I stand
man.
corrected. I haven't seen Werkmeister Harmonies either, which I also hear is great. And that's 2.5 hours. Um, but yeah, I would say start with Damnation. I think because that one it feels like a Bela Tarr movie in the way that he's presenting images and telling his story, but you'll be done in 2 hours.
Eli says Turin Horse was gorgeous.
No, I've
Crazy
yeah,
long.
Dave's a fan of that one for sure.
Yeah, it says crazy long. I felt like I was going crazy, but fascinating filmmaker. Bela Tarr is an enigma, but should
Mm.
definitely check out more of his stuff. Also, want to mention Brent says my friend in LA did a trivia night there this week, and his team name was La Bela Tar Pits.
Good one.
I like that. David, thanks again. David says, I'm
Thank
excited
you.
about the Golden Globes, not only for Nikki Glaser coming back, but also longtime announcer Sean Parr coming back. Last year, they had ET host Kevin Frazier as announcer, butchering all the names.
Yeah, it's funny because, my friend Drea used to work for the Globes, and getting the pronunciation of the names was a big part of everybody's job. Like that was all the producers as they were pulling together clips and everything else, especially with the number of sort of foreign nominees, they really made a big effort in that regard. So I don't know what happened last year, if they just handed it to him and he didn't excuse me,
Bless you.
he didn't read them or what, but yeah, that was shocking when it happened. I remember.
It's just so disrespectful. Like you
Yeah,
had one job to say their names right, you
exactly.
know? Okay, couple more quick things. Adam Block says, I've been wanting to ask a group of film buffs this. Does anyone like Snowpiercer more than Parasite? If we're talking about Bong Joon-ho films.
No, but I like Snowpiercer.
I love Snowpiercer, but I really love Parasite. Like
Yeah,
that is a masterpiece. So
yeah.
that is that. Also, Sway in the OK. Thank you so much. I guess you must be in Oklahoma. The question is, think there's any hope of Kathleen Chalfant entering the Oscar race? Saw Familiar Touch in Venice last year. Hope it would receive awards attention. That's a beautiful film, and you guys just gave it an award, did you
Yeah,
not?
National Society of Film Critics named her best actress, which was very exciting, and I spurred me to finally see the film, which I am glad I did. I doubt it, just because I'm not seeing any kind of major awards push. Like it got some votes at LAFCA. It like I said, she won at National Society, but I think that's just because film critics see a lot more movies, generally speaking, than Academy members do, and there really hasn't been a push. Like I haven't seen sort of come see this screening, come to this
Right.
reception with Kathleen Chalfant. Like they're really not making that effort. So I'm gonna say probably not.
It's such a beautiful and gentle and insightful film,
Yeah,
and,
and
like,
she's
really inspired camera angles and, like, just it lets you sit in the silence with her. Yeah.
yeah, another great first film this year. I mean, there were, I've only seen 2 of the 5 that the DGA picked, but, like, that was a first film. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You was a first film.
Mm.
Dust Bunny, EFUS, like, a lot of directorial debuts that were real knockouts this year.
Yes. Anyway, we are in it, and I love that we have folks here who ask questions about movies like that. So thanks for being here for all of that. We're gonna wrap up. Thank you for being here. Yeah, this weekend is all the award stuff. And again, if you want to watch the Oscar nomination live stream that we're doing, that is the morning that the nominations come out. That is Thursday, January 22nd at 7 a.m. Pacific. I'll put makeup on for first thing in the morning for
Thank
you
you.
because you don't want to see me without it. And that's it. So thanks for being here. Anything else before we
If you
wrap
wanna
up,
do big
Alonzo?
sunglasses, I would totally understand.
It's so early. But I'm up anyway because I'm a middle-aged lady, so I'm just naturally up at 5:30 a.m. every day anyway.
Exactly.
Thank you all for being here. Thanks to you for your thoughts and your support. Katie, thinking about you in Minneapolis.
Yes.
Um, and we will see you guys again next week. Thanks so much. I'm
Thanks,
gonna
y'all.
hit
Take care.
stop eventually. Thanks. Bye.